Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, have you seen a Deadly American Marriage? It's on Netflix. And it says a tragic love story. So it is about Jason Corbett, who was an Irish national, and an American, Molly Martins. Okay, so Jason was married to the love of his life, and they had two children. And she suddenly died, and the children were quite young. Like I'm talking like 18 months and 3 years kind of thing. And so Jason tried to be a single father as long as he could, and apparently he was quite successful as a very successful businessman. So he had the money, so he put out an ad for an au pair. And this American girl, very pretty, apparently she was a model, beautiful, actually, not even just pretty, beautiful, applied for the job, and immediately attached to the children. And, needless to say, more and more time they spent together. Well, there's a little bit of hoochie coochie. And before you know it, they're lovers. Next thing you know, they're engaged. Next thing you know, they're moving to America, right? So they moved to America, and apparently things start to go. Oh no, pardon me. They got married in America. They got engaged in Ireland, and they moved to America. So it was Jason and his two children and Molly Martins. And, they bought this big, beautiful house. And, it looked like they had a fantastic life. And one night things really went south, and Molly smashed his head in with a brick, and her father smashed his head in with a baseball bat. And they said it was self-defense. They said that Jason was choking her. So they got the kids to testify saying, yeah, I saw my dad hitting my mom, and they were fighting a lot, and basically making Jason look like a domestic abuser. And he was no longer the victim, but Molly was the victim. And at first, the parents, they were put into jail for life for second-degree murder, Molly and her father. Now, Jason's children, Jack and Sarah, as they got older, confessed that they were told by Molly to say those things. And you have to remember, I think they were like 8 and 10 when their dad died. So here they are, they're complete orphans. They're 8 and 10. And then there was a bit of a kerfuffle that this Molly wanted to adopt the children, wanted to keep them, but Jason's family flew in from Ireland, were successful in taking the kids and bringing them back to Ireland to be with their family. Molly wasn't their family. Yeah, acted as a stepmother while they were married, but not officially adopted. So anyways, yada, yada, yada. They get an appeal. They found a lawyer that would give them an appeal, and they got the appeal, and it was reduced to manslaughter. So here's the thing. The children, who are now adults, say and state that Molly is lying, that their father was amazing. And what this Molly did is she recorded them having arguments. And some people say that that's when you want to frame somebody, that's what you do. You secretly record them and then only present the bad parts of it, right? To make your point. So the kids said what they've done, what Molly has done is made herself the victim, and their father, who's the real victim, who was murdered, into the bad guy. So I want to, long story short, go watch the movie or the documentary. I want to ask the cards, who's telling the truth here? Is Molly telling the truth that Jason was a domestic abuser, and or are the children telling the truth that Molly is a big fat liar? Now, go watch the documentary. I'm giving you like the the Cole's Notes part of it, but there's other nuances that you need to know that would question who's telling the truth here. All right, so Jason, oh wow, the cards are ready. I've already put enough energy into them. Jason Corbett. Who is telling the truth here? Is Molly telling the truth, or the children telling the truth that their father was not a domestic abuser, was a very nice guy, and or is Molly telling the truth that she was the victim of domestic abuse? All right, so shall we begin? Molly, oh wow, 7 of Wands in reverse. What she's done is indefensible. 7 of Pentacles upright. Well, that's his money. That's one thing they didn't address. Like, did Molly get all, like, the house and the money and 5 of Swords? I know I didn't say out loud Molly on top, children on the bottom, but I did in my mind. So the universe knows what I'm doing. So I apologize. Molly on top, the children on the bottom. I was more into making sure you understood a little bit of the story before I got started on it. But in my mind, I was telling the cards, Molly on top, children on the bottom. Wow, Queen of Swords there. There's the widow. There's the weeping widow. 5 of Wands, 8 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, they're still fighting with her a lot. 5 of Swords, bit of bullying going on here. She may have been the bully. Knight of Wands. Yeah, they weren't married very long. 3 of Pentacles upright. That would be the 3 of them, the 2 children and Jason. Wheel of Fortune. See, they didn't go into who got his money. I imagine because she was the legal spouse, it would automatically go to her. Queen of Wands in reverse. The Queen of Cups in reverse. Yeah, she's kind of unstable. Like, she comes off as a little bit unstable. Like, she lied to a lot of people. She would tell people that Sarah, the daughter, was hers because they did look a lot alike. And knowing that it was his first wife's child, she was a little bit cuckoo. 8 of Swords in reverse, and the Hermit upright, and the Star in reverse. All right, so she has 1, 2, 3, 4 upright. They have 1, 2, they only have 2 upright. What's the underlying here? 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Huh. All right. You know what? If this Knight of Wands was in reverse, he would be the type that would do some domestic violence. She's a little bit unstable, and she's the weeping widow. So some of the things she said are true. Like, you have to remember, like, if the children were that young, they probably were in bed if they were fighting, right? Here's the fighting right here. It's showing up in the children's story. The 5 of Wands. Look at that. I'm getting that. They thought as they get older, they're looking at her as a gold digger, because that's Queen of Wands there in reverse. They both said that they're really happy that they're in Ireland, and they feel like they went to Jason's sister's family, and they feel like that's the first time they've felt totally in love since they like totally safe and secured and loved in a family since their father died. There's no hope and healing here. Interesting. So this is Molly, and as the Hermit, being all alone but in a cage somehow. And they have no hope and healing. Well, because they're out, they won their appeal. And so it was basically time served plus 6 more months or so. I think they both were in jail 3 years before they got their appeal brought forward. It looks like, though, she got all the money. She got all the money. And I'm wondering if the prosecutor didn't look at that. Like, was he murdered for the money? There, you have to watch the documentary. There's so many nuances and whatever. You really don't know who's telling the truth at the end. Now, parts of the story that she has told are truer than what the children have told. That the cards are very clear on that. But what we don't know is, was she in it for the money? I think they were only married 4 years. Was she in it for the money? And is that why she wanted to move to the States? Because the divorce laws are quite a bit different. Here, she always, and there was evidence that she wanted to adopt the children and then divorce him, and then he'd have no say over his own children. She even threatened that she would have full custody, I think. But here she knew she wanted to be either the widow or the divorcee for the money. And the children think of her as a gold digger. As a gold digger. But here, were the children manipulated? I'm getting, because this is 3 of Pentacles, they feel they're defending their father. They're defending their father. But I'm getting that I'm thinking that there was arguments there. But I'm not getting the attacking knights either. 8 of Pentacles in reverse didn't quite go her way. And her father, who was involved, he's ex-FBI. So he knew exactly, and what his specialty was interrogation. So he would teach new FBI agents, interrogation techniques. So that's what they said, the interrogation, like did he coach his daughter what to say? Did he, do they know exactly what to say not to implement, themselves? Oh, well, the cards are clear. Here's the widow, and she has 4 upright. They only have 2. They spoke their piece, but it's not bringing them any hope or healing at all. I mean, they're basically orphans. Both their mother and their father are gone. Something in the far, far future might come to pass. So I don't know if there's a trust set up because we got the 7 of Pentacles we started off with. So I don't know if there's a trust fund or an inheritance or something that perhaps they don't get till they're, 25, 30 years old. He set something up for them. Maybe it's just that in his wills, he specified there's something were to happen to him, the children were under 18, they were to go to his sister. But maybe perhaps there's money there as well. And maybe that's something they're quite upset about, is she's got all the money. That's exactly what she was after, either by divorce or by death. But what she's done is indefensible. And she was a bit of a bully herself. She could have been setting this situation up. She comes off as quite unstable. Like, she keeps talking about, I was the mother of those children, and they took my babies away, and you're like, no, you weren't the mother. Yeah, you were the stepmother, absolutely, but quit saying you're the mother. And it was just really weird. To me it was. As somebody who has a stepmother, if that was my stepmother saying that about me, I'd be really weirded out about it. I'm like, you're not my mother. I have a mother. You're my stepmother. So she could have worded as somebody who cared for them, somebody who loved them and cared for them, and I treated them as if they were my own. That's a different language, right? She never said that once. And the fact that she was telling people that Sarah was actually her own daughter was really weird. Especially to people who knew she wasn't. That's the weirdness of it. I'm wondering if she's a Virgo, if that's interesting, because both of these are healing cards. The Virgo is healing. The Virgo is your sixth house is healing, and the Star card here is hope and healing, and it's in reverse. She'll always be in a cage about all of this, and the children will never have any hope and healing. There's no closure here. There's no closure. Interesting. There's really like it's really quite a bizarre story. Um, I'm really sad to tell you though that she was right. There was arguing and fighting a lot, and it could have been physical. If the Five of Wands was upright, it would just be no. That's just yelling and arguing. It's in reverse. That actually you're in physical territory. So and the Queen of Swords here, the widow is on top of that. So she's right. There was some physical altercations. How many times it happened, I don't know. It could have just been that one that night. Maybe he, couldn't take it anymore. And anyways, go watch it and you'll see what I mean. There's a lot of nuances in here, and you're not at the end of the show, you're not really clear who's telling the truth. So I thought I'd read the cards. All right, well, YouTube's going to show you another video possibly you haven't seen. Why don't you click on that, and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching. Take good care. Bye for now.